Hello, she's back again. All set for chapter 10 of The Greatest Miracle in the World by Mandino. I'm telling you, what an amazing book this is. And my mentor challenged me to get this book and read chapter 9, which is called The God Memorandum. That's the only title from the copy that I have. That's the only chapter that actually has a title to it. It's chapter 9 of 10, and it's called The God Memorandum. And the challenge was to read it every single night before bed for 100 days in a row. If you miss a day, you start all over. I did it. I finished it yesterday. Um, and in that process, a lot of different things have shifted in me for sure. Let me get right to chapter 10 and I will tell you about some of the shifts afterwards. This is a very, very short chapter. So I'm going to let you stare at the beautiful Christmas tree. And here we go. Chapter 10. I believe all office Christmas parties should be abolished. There's just no way to prevent at least one poor soul from trying to work off his or her pent up repressions or holiday melancholia. I think I said that wrong. In a fit of drinking that either ends up in a scene that will be regretted later or climaxes in a fight over someone's right to get into an automobile and kill himself or someone innocent soul. I know I acted the fool myself a couple of times long ago. Furthermore, that cold duck leaves permanent scars on office carpeting that no cleaning fluid has ever completely removed. Furthermore, that cold duck, oh, I said that, sorry. Each year I resolve, usually on the first workday following Christmas, that next year there will be no party in our office. We'll give that foolishly spent money to some needy family fund instead. And each year, when committees begin to form to plan the party, I weaken, plead, no contest, and allow it to happen anyway. So I had a couple of drinks and tried to smile through the silliness of the grab bag exchange while someone's record player monotonously abused a scratchy version of White Christmas. Then I walked around, patting shoulders, kissing cheeks, feeling like a house detective, constantly reassuring myself that everyone would make it home without any spontaneous motel stops or drunken driving violations. Finally, the wine ran out and the office emptied swiftly, leaving in its wake a collection of debris that would only be removed if I left a $20 bill for our cleaning man. It was already in a Christmas card propped up on Pat's desk where he wouldn't miss it. I carried my last glass of wine into my office and fell wearily onto the couch, setting the glass into the standing ashtray. The glass. I found myself staring at it, almost hypnotized. Simon. I found myself remembering all those sherry glasses we filled and emptied together. Simon. Simon, where are you? Suddenly, I reached a decision and went to my desk. I punched F on my telephone index gadget and found Fred Fell's home phone number. I dialed it. He recognized my voice as soon as I said happy holidays. Og, how wonderful to hear from you. How are you? How's the weather in Chicago? We've got snow. Here it's been raining for 2 days. I think Long Island is sinking. So head for Miami. Here it's been raining. Oh, I think it's too late. What's going on with you? I'm so sorry. Getting a little giddish. We've just had our Christmas party in the office. And you've had a few drinks and you got a little sentimental and remembered your old publisher. All that and one more reason. Tell me. I'm ready to do another book. I don't believe what I'm hearing. I was beginning to think that you were so busy counting your money and making like Gore Vidal on all those talk shows, and there was no time for writing anymore. What do you want to do? What's the book about? I'm not going to tell you. There's no way I can explain it, either on the phone or in person. I'm just going to do it. Does it have a title? The Greatest Miracle in the World. I like it already. What's the big miracle? Don't ask. Will it be another like the greatest salesman in the world? Better. I don't have to make this one up. Okay, Og, I know better than to push you. You want a contract? No hurry, whenever you get around to it. Same terms as before? Fine. What should I put down for delivery date of manuscript? Make it January 31st, 1975. That's a year and a month from now. You need that long? Yes. Very well. Consider it done. What a relationship to have. I wonder how many other publishers contract for books like this without even knowing what they're buying. Mailer's publisher, Wallace's publisher, Updike's publisher, Fowles' publisher, Mike Mickner's publisher, Harriet's publisher. Merry Christmas, Og. You too, Fred. Love you. I love you too. It was very dark and still snowing when I left the office and laid down a row of footprints all the way to the parking lot. I felt a burning emptiness inside me, and I knew why. Across the lot, I could see the dark shadows of the apartment where I had spent so many happy hours. Its silent hulk checkered here and there with squares of light blinking through falling snow. Right about now, we'd be wishing each other Merry Christmas and touching glasses, and his beautiful voice would be washing over me as he opened whatever silly gift I would have brought. Simon, Simon, I miss you. I miss you very much. I was speaking aloud to the wind and the snowflakes. Then I saw, then I was fighting back sobs that seemed to start deep in my gut. I felt absolutely alone and lost. Finally, I forced myself to shape up. I had to get home. There was still some shopping to do. Life does go on. I fumbled for the car keys and unlocked the door. As I turned the key in the ignition, I had the sudden compelling urge for another drink. But I knew what would happen. One would lead to 20, and no matter how many bars I looked, I wouldn't find Simon. I backed the car and cut it sharply toward the exit gate, its tires crunching noisily on the newly fallen snow. I rolled down my window and reached out to turn my key in the gate release slot. The gate creaked and rose slowly toward the sky. I shifted into drive and accelerated slowly over the small asphalt mound under the gate. The front of my car pointed upward slightly, and it reached the crest of the mound, and the headlight beams swept across a second-floor apartment window that was dark. I blinked my eyes and shook my head. I looked again. My headlight beams had converged into a single shaft of light on a window box. My God, in that box was a plant, tilting gently in the blowing snow. A beautiful plant, a blue ribbon plant, a red glass geranium. Okay. That is it. That was chapter 10. And then the back of the book goes into a few pages of the second story of The Greatest Salesman in the World, part 2. It was the end of the story. I didn't know anything about the salesman. The Greatest Salesman in the World. I had no idea. And of course, that book led into this book, The Greatest Miracle in the World, and Simon, the rag picker. This has been an amazing experience for me doing this book. But when I learned about the other books, I also learned that there were 10 scrolls that also, 10 scrolls were in the greatest salesman of the world. And that is where the God memorandum came from. So when I first started reading the God memorandum for my 100 days, I've attempted this challenge a few times prior and I've failed every time. And there's a couple of different reasons, which if anybody wants to know why I failed before, and this time I did it, persistence. I was determined. I was determined to start changing my bad habits, making my bad habits, turning them into good habits, um, and learning God's word in the process. I have never been a church going kind of gal. Um, Not ever. I do remember being little and going with my older sister on occasion. Um, but that's really all I remember. I do remember going to like catechism when I was a little bit older. Never really was a church going family. I don't even know how my parents how their views were, in the religion area. Or I'm a Catholic girl. Um, I'm trying to be that Catholic girl now, I guess, in my 60s. Bravo, right? Hey, better late than never. That's all I can say. So that is kind of where all my scriptures come from, because I am learning them as I go to. This has all been a huge process for me. I feel very accomplished. Um, I I feel like I could do anything now. 100-day challenge was a big deal for me. 100 days is a long time, but I did it. And I got to tell you, about a good week into it, I didn't think I was going to make it. I really did not. I was struggling and I was forcing myself to go in there and read. And the God memorandum did not make a lot of sense to me. Well, that kind of defeats, I never read the book. I never read The Greatest Miracle in the World before attempting that chapter 9. When I was introduced to this, that's what I was given, was chapter 9. So me, uh, whatever, that's all I read. And no wonder it didn't make any sense. Good grief. So this time I have read the book thoroughly before attempting it. And you know what's kind of funny? Now that I know about the scrolls and where they came from, um, I don't know if it was meant to be for me to kind of get into it this way and struggle so much with that God memorandum. Like I said, the first week I thought I wouldn't finish. But I did. I struggled through, and I think it was like almost day 30, 31, 32, somewhere in there. I thought, you know what? I felt an accomplishment. I had a long ways to go, though, to reach my 100 days, but I did hit 30 days. I thought, you know what? Okay, we can do this, buckle down and just flip and do it. Finally, about day 43 or 42, somewhere in there, something shifted in me. I don't know what it was, but it was like the words were taking on a deeper meaning to me. Everything I was talking about was making sense. Everything I was reading was making sense. And I started looking forward to going in there and reading every single night. I started looking forward to it. It was almost like an inspiration for me. So that was just my story. That's how I kind of got through it. And I just finished my 100 days yesterday on Christmas Eve. And I just ecstatic about that. But now I was delving more into the scrolls and wanting to learn more about that as well. So some of my next lives, I may share those scrolls with you because I think if I would have read these books first, it may not have taken me that long to complete this challenge. But it's just things I seem to always do things a little bit of the harder way than normal people. Who knows? I don't know. Just me. But I am tickled with myself. And in this process, my YouTube channel has started to grow and I'm getting close to being able to monetize it. I have 1,000 subscribers, 1,040, I think it is. And now that I've slowed down with this, that's slowing down as well too. But that's okay. But most of my videos are going to be on YouTube from now on. So I hope you guys can pop over there, check out all the amazing playlists I have. I have audios by my mentor's book. I did my mentor's book by audio. I did this book by audio. That playlist is there. I have about 80 in my playlist for scriptures that I'm learning. So all you have to do is go to YouTube and at LisaMarieCook, and my page should pop right up there. And I've got a lot of videos. So I would very much appreciate you guys just checking it out. Share it if you like it. Give me a like, a heart. I would greatly appreciate that. All right. That's all I got for you tonight. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.